Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get into something mind-blowing. How the vagus nerve is secretly shaping your emotional world and how you can use it to take control of your emotions like never before. You've probably heard of the vagus nerve, but did you know that it has the power to completely shift how you think, feel and react in just a few minutes? Imagine being able to instantly calm your nervous system, reduce anxiety, boost your mood, and even change how you experience stress overall, just by focusing on this one nerve. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me because I'm going to show you how neuroscience is unlocking the power of the vagus nerve, and it might just be the key to emotional mastery. Before we get into the effects on emotions, let's break down what exactly the vagus nerve is. It's the longest cranial nerve that stretches down from the brainstem and travels down through the neck, chest and abdomen, the body's communication highway. It connects your brain to almost every major organ, your heart, your lungs, digestive system and more. But here's where it gets really interesting. The vagus nerve is a direct line to your emotional brain, the limbic system, which is your control center for your feelings. This is crucial because the vagus nerve is a key player in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is basically your body's rest and digestive system. It's the counterbalance to the sympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for the fight or flight response. So when you're stressed, overwhelmed, anxious, your sympathetic nervous system is firing on all cylinders, and the vagus nerve helps flip that switch back to calm and recovery. New research from the University of California has shown that the nerve's activation directly influences how we handle stress and emotions. This is why your vagus nerve is a game changer when it comes to emotional regulation. So now let's talk about how exactly the vagus nerve influences your emotions. It all comes down to chemistry, the neurochemical reactions happening in your brain and body. When the vagus nerve is activated, it has a direct influence on the levels of certain neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine and GABA, all of which are crucial for regulating mood and emotional states. Studies out of Stanford University found that vagus nerve stimulation, VNS, can significantly lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. That same cortisol that floods your system when you're stressed out. When cortisol drops, your emotional state shifts from stress to calm. But that's not all. By stimulating your vagus nerve, the brain releases acetylcholine, which helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system and brings your body out of fight and flight mode. This neurochemical cascade is so powerful that researchers from Harvard Medical School have been exploring vagus nerve stimulation as a treatment for mental health conditions like depression and PTSD. They've found that stimulating the vagus nerve can actually rewire how the brain responds to stress, reducing emotional reactivity and increasing emotional resilience. In essence, the vagus nerve is like the reset button for your emotional system. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The vagus nerve doesn't just lower cortisol, it also helps your brain's neuroplasticity. That's the brain's ability to change and adapt. The emotional patterns aren't just wired into your brain, they are programmed through repeated experiences and reactions. And just like you can rewire your thoughts, you can rewire your emotions. Research from the National Institute of Health has shown that regular activation of the vagus nerve can help reduce the default mode network activity in your brain. This is the part of your brain that's constantly remunerating on stress and worry. When this network is calmed down, you're able to shift your thinking from reactive, stress-based thoughts to more balanced, calm responses. Over time, this rewiring can actually make you less susceptible to anxiety and emotional overwhelm. What's incredible is that you can actively train your vagus nerve to create a new emotional baseline, one that's more resilient and less affected by external stresses. It's like emotional fitness. You can strengthen your vagus nerve just as you strengthen muscles in the gym, and it will help you recover faster from emotional stresses. Now let's talk about emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, stress, or difficult emotions without getting stuck in them. And guess what? Your vagus nerve plays a huge role in this. A study out of the University of California found that people who have a high vagal tone, the ability for the vagus nerve to regulate your heart rate and stress levels, they tend to have a higher level of emotional resilience. They're not easily thrown off balance by challenges or negative emotions. Their nervous systems are able to return to a calm, stable state much faster than those with low vagal tone. The reason? When the vagus nerve is activated, it triggers a shift from high stress, high arousal, into a state of a calm one. This is called the vagal brake, a mechanism where the vagus nerve literally dampens down the heart rate and the body's response to fight or flight, allowing you to calm down and think more clearly. This gives you the ability to respond to a challenge in a more measured, less emotional way. Okay, so how does your vagus nerve play into your mental health on a deeper level? Well, it turns out this nerve doesn't just help you react to stress, it can actually prevent it. Research from the Journal of Neuroscience has shown that vagus nerve stimulation can help lower overall anxiety and even help combat depression. In a study of patients with treatment-resistant depression, those who underwent VNS therapy experienced a significant reduction in their depressive symptoms. Many of them even experienced an increase in feelings of well-being. This is why the vagus nerve is a cornerstone in the growing field of biohacking. You're not just hacking your body's physical symptoms, you're hacking your brain's emotional programming. By activating the vagus nerve, you're activating a process that helps balance your neurotransmitters, soothe your stress response, and ultimately change how your brain reacts to emotions. It's literally rewiring your brain's emotional pathways, making you more emotionally stable and resilient over time. Now, you're probably wondering, all right, how do I activate my vagus nerve? There are several ways to stimulate this nerve, and they're all pretty simple, so let me break them down for you. Deep breathing. The most straightforward way to activate your vagus nerve is through slow, deep breathing. When you breathe deeply and exhale slowly, you're sending signals to the parasympathetic nervous system, which activates the vagus nerve. Studies from the University of Washington have found that deep breathing exercises can improve vagal tone and help manage stress and anxiety. And cold exposure. Here's the thing about cold exposure. Whether it's a quick shower or a quick splash of cold water on your face, it activates the vagus nerve in a big way. Research from the Journal of Neuroscience shows that cold exposure stimulates the vagus nerve and triggers a release of dopamine and serotonin, helping improve mood and reduce stress. And also singing and chanting. Believe it or not, singing is a great way to stimulate the vagus nerve. It activates the muscles in your vocal cords and stimulates the vagus nerve directly. Research from the University of Oxford found that singing can increase vagal tone, which boosts your emotional health by reducing anxiety and improving emotional regulation. And meditation and mindfulness. Practices like meditation and mindfulness can help activate the vagus nerve, especially techniques like a loving kindness meditation, body scanning, which are shown to reduce heart rate and calm your nervous system. Studies out of the American Psychological Association have found that regular mindfulness practices can help enhance vagal tone and improve emotional resilience. And massage and acupuncture. Techniques like neck massage and acupuncture on specific points like the vagus nerve's pathway can also help stimulate the vagus nerve, promoting relaxation and emotional stability. So to wrap it up, the vagus nerve isn't just some random nerve in your body. It's a central path for how you experience, process, and regulate emotions. By activating it through simple techniques like deep breathing, cold exposure, singing, you're unlocking the ability to reprogram your emotional state, boost your resilience, and take back control over your life. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck in negative emotions, give these techniques a try. Your vagus nerve is waiting to help you reclaim your emotional balance. If this video was helpful, hit the like button, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the science of health and personal growth. And I'll see you in the next video.